make sure that both sides are even. So let me check it out from here. You're gonna notice that in the middle, you can measure, but see how that extra layer comes all the way forward like that? That's awesome. So then I'm gonna take this little strap and tie it. On these doll heads, I like to tie it, bring it around the ear first. But on a normal person, you would just tie it directly under their chin. This one was made for a medium size, so as you can see, it just fits perfectly. I want to make sure that both sides are even. It should be. Yep, everything is looking good. And we are ready to rock and roll. Attach the Pixie Buddy to the top crown. We're going to get it to where it is stable at the top crown area. I want to make sure that what I do to one side here, up here at the crown, I do to the other. So I'm not going to continue to go all the way down. I'm going to stop right here. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side so that it doesn't move on you, because if you work only on one side, it will shift on you. So work on the top first. Make sure that it's nice and stable. See how I'm going through the larger holes? I'm working on the larger holes, not on the little holes. And since I'm here at this slit, see every time it's open, a little slit? This is where you do put your curved needle through the little holes and close that slit up. That's the only time I will use those little holes to close the slits or any kind of corner. That way it stays down without overlapping on making it bulky. So now if your needle happens to go through a little hole like it did on this one without any effort, that's fine. You're not doing anything wrong. It's just that who wants to sit there and put their needle through every single little hole, right? See, now I'm on a corner, so I am putting it through the little hole on this corner, but I can go through the bigger hole on the other side. So now, check this out. See, this is not gonna move on you anymore. So now you are welcome to continue to sew downward. We are still focusing only on getting it attached to the back part of the crown here. Then we will, once we're done with the back, then we will go back to the front and make sure the front is on properly and it's not bulging. So sometimes, depending on people's head shapes, it will buckle. So I'm going to teach you ways to make sure that it doesn't stay buckled if it does buckle. Okay? Now, I was able to continue all the way down because I made sure that the center was on properly. So, for the most part, people's troubled areas are the edges. So we want to attach the Weave Buddy to everything behind the ear. If I assimilated this doll head without any hair in the front, but if she did have hair, you would not be attaching the Weave Buddy to that anyhow, okay? So let's just continue braiding. Now you see, you can continue to attach to the braids that are healthy or behind the ear. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish attaching a little bit more here, then I'm gonna go to the other side. And then we're gonna work on the front. Just traveling down with my needle. Guys, I have mascots in this room who are recording with me, so you're gonna hear weird noises sometimes, okay? Like that. Making sure that this little corner gets sewn down. And see, there are these little slits in here. You can actually get your needle through there. A lot of people have said, well, that's just too much work. But it's not much more work than what it used to be, the good old-fashioned weaves. When we do a full weave, take anywhere from 3 to 4 hours if you were gentle and careful. That's exactly what it is. But the wonderful thing about it is that they're not coming back in 2 weeks telling you to fix whatever has, shifted. Because with the Weave Buddy, the weaves are going to last a full term and it's not going to shift. So in actuality, it's saving you time because you don't have to redo your work because it didn't shift on you. The Weave Buddy ensures that your work is going to stay in place for a full duration, which is anywhere from 6 to 10 weeks, sometimes 12 weeks. After that, it still can stay, but I don't recommend it because you have to wash the scalp. You have to stimulate the scalp. So you don't want to ignore the scalp either. Now let's get to the front. Let's go ahead and slip in our protective paddles. Somebody wrote in and asked a question. Since she doesn't have any hair in the front, why are you adding the protective paddles? My answer to that is that you can still protect her scalp from being poked. So in this case, you see how it's not firm on her. It's not fitting like a glove yet. So I'm going to teach you guys how to fit these like a glove. You go in. If you don't have any spring scissors, they're about $15 to $18. I suggest that you invest in them. They're great. Now I've already, on this unit, I've already closed this slit and this slit. So let's go ahead and close this one. I like to start my needles out not so far close to the front so that it doesn't, to ensure that the knots are not going to come loose in the front. Okay, so we're coming to the front here now. And I am going to go into the little hole on the top and the bottom. And close it up. And sometimes if you feel this buckles on you, because everyone has a different size head, you can go in and remove that little dot that is holding it together. It will not fall apart, and you can remove that little stick that pops out when you cut that. So we'll go ahead and close this up. That will make for a flatter fit. That's step one. And now I'm just going to leave this needle and thread here because it's long, so I don't want to cut it off. I want to use it for something. I'm going to go to the other side. Let's close this slit up. Again, I'm going to start my needle back here a little. Trying to get it through those little squares. That's only at the edges, guys. Now I see that this is also going to pop a little, so I'm just going to go ahead and remove that little stick. There we go. And you can go ahead, close that up. Okay. Let's go ahead and check out this front. See how it's still loose? We are going to create more of those slits so that you can gather more and close it up more. So we're gonna do one. I wanna do some right here at the front. Go in straight through that lace and cut through 1, 2, 3, 4 little lines that are, let me just reiterate, you are cutting through the 4 lines that are horizontal, and you are not going to cross over to the vertical lines. Okay, so you're only cutting the lines that are horizontal from left to right, not the tall long one that goes up and down, just left to right. And then also another thing you want to keep in mind is don't go into this top chain. So you're cutting 1, 2, 3, 4 of the horizontal little lines, and then you're going to go back in and clean it up, because another thing you do not want to do is to have anything that could potentially poke your customer. Okay, so there you have it. You have created another slit for your customer. Since my thread is so long, I'm just gonna travel with my needle and thread over here and go ahead and close this new slit that I made. And it still feels like it needs, let me go ahead, and those are overlapping and they're getting in my way. So I also like to travel with my paddle. So if it's ever in your way, move it. It's just there to help you, not to distract you. Okay, it's starting to feel less loose, but it's still loose. So we're gonna go ahead and go in here to the middle, which I should have done that one because it's an original slit. Let me go ahead and travel over here. And then, since it's at a corner, I'm gonna get that corner within the two little holes. And then you can go ahead and continue to sew it through the bigger holes. Now, I noticed that it's doing the same thing. Because this is a unit that I added extra frontal coverage, then it's going to bend more. When you're bending more, you need to customize that front a little bit even more, which is what we're doing right now. And I tell you, it's starting to flatten up here. I love it. Let's go ahead and continue to make another, create your own slit. You're going into 1, 2, 3, 4. On the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Try to get those little extra sticks that are popping out gone, which I did while I was creating the slit. I just made sure I got on the corners. And now to close these slits up, I'm gonna first grab this bottom one, the two corners, and this is something that you can easily get used to, guys. So it can go much faster once you're used to it. Okay, it's nice, getting nice and flat. I'm gonna go ahead and do one more closing of the slit here, as well as I think I'm going to remove this little guy so that it gives it more space to close. And I'm gonna wrap up this needle because it is starting to be short. And now I still want to do a couple of more slits so that it could be so perfectly flat on the customer. But at the same time, it's not being attached to her, so it's quite comfortable. But ensuring that the front fits like a glove will also ensure that you keep it in place without flapping or moving back. Okay. Since I have this extra thread here ready to go, I'll go back in with my little spring scissors, 1, 2, 3, 4, on those horizontal lines, and just making sure that those little, I call them pokey things, those little pokey things are gone. I don't want pokey things. I'm going to travel upward with my needle, go into the 2 little squares. Be extra gentle to ensure that you don't tear those squares. Us weaveologists have a lot of power in our hands. They're strong, and so you can easily tear the square if you're not, you have to be gentle but firm. It helps that to sew on the lace as well. That will keep it from popping. I'm going to go ahead and remove this extra one. I feel like it could be a little flatter right there. So guys, check this out. See how flat that is? That is how you ensure that your customer has a customized fit, as well as that is laying flat and it is not buckling on you. Now we are going to attach the crown. It is already attached to the Weave Buddy, but it is important that it lay flat on your customer. Now, this pattern that I did was a very popular pattern that is used on crochets. It's used on a lot of things, this pattern. So it's a little bulkier here, that's okay. We're gonna get it as flat as possible. By the time the hair is on there and everything, you won't see any bulk there. I'm gonna go ahead and attach a needle to the very bottom of the crown. Make sure that you're laying it nice and flat against the scalp. And you are going to attach it to that very bottom braid, making sure that you attach the middle part of the bottom of the crown, and you are going to attach it to that very bottom braid. So I want to get this part attached firmly. And go back this way. We're basically working on the very bottom flat part all the way across. Alright. Then I'm going to work my way up through the middle and attach that middle to any of the braids that are there. If there are no braids there, then you skip this process, but I do have braids there. So I'm going to go right up the middle and get that middle part attached to those braids. This is where the big, thick, simulated track is, so I'm going to skip that one. It's too thick, and I'm not trying to stress about that. So if you have a thick area and you can't get your needle through it, and if it's not really a crucial point, just skip it. Don't try to force it or stress about it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and since this needle is about to, since this thread is about to be finished, I'm just going to go ahead and close it up. Go ahead and start another needle. I'm going to get a couple of layers in to really ensure the flattest possible. So I'm going in through this middle, downward. Go ahead and then get back up here. Kind of follow this pattern. Be careful that you don't accidentally poke your customer. So just be gentle and be careful. Right now, I'm attaching it to the lace for extra support. That extra lace on the side here is helping me reach this bottom braid here. Whenever the braid is further down than the attachment area, then I do a little zigzag. This is what I teach my students, just to kind of keep it in place. See that? That's my zigzag. And I'm not forceful with it. I don't pull it. Don't cause extra stress on it. Yeah, you may wonder why I'm not working on the other side now, because I always say what you do to one side, do to the other. But I have already established a secure placement through the middle here. So now when you're working all of this, it's not going to affect that area. So as long as you secure this first, then you can go ahead and sew all the way across, unless you're like me and you want to get a little nitty-gritty with it, then you can continue on this. Now my braids are not matching the outer links, but I can sew on to my lace, and that is also giving you a nice firm attachment. Go ahead and grab a little bit of this. Some of this, back to this edge here, if you want to secure this down a little bit, you can. This corner. If they have extra sensitive scalp, you want to make sure you sew it down a little more. I'll tell you why, because if they only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 12 sutures or 12 anchors, you can better believe that your customer is going to feel those 12 stitches. Now, if you have stitches throughout evenly, the balance of the weight to the balance of what you've sewn on to her hair is a more full balance. So I encourage you to not skip too much of the sewing. I'm going to go ahead and grab this part real quick. Down here. Just ensuring that this can be flat and that it's attached well. Like I said, some people don't want to take the time to do all of that, but the more time you take, in attaching it well, then the more it's going to be more beneficial to your customer. And it's also going to ensure that the Weave Buddy doesn't shift, as well as it's going to ensure that the customer doesn't feel extra pressure from, just too little sewing points. I can't express that enough. I'm gonna grab some of this lace. Almost done here. Okay. One more for the road. There we have it. What do I do with the straps? People wonder. So you take the straps, tie them behind your customer's occipital bone area. I tie it in a bow, nice firm bow, okay? I take, if you want to use your protective paddle, you can, but I'm just going to gently start sewing, connecting the elastic, the big elastic and the small elastic together. And then this elastic starts getting sewn on to the customer's prepared braids. I'm sewing that larger elastic around the perimeter of the braids. That ensures that don't bring that needle upward, just get another needle in there. And just continue to sew around the perimeter of those bottom braids. You can remove the short part. Don't need it anymore. And then just make sure that you do sew it enough that it's on there firmly. So I would say a good 5 inches before you remove the rest of it. But I like to remove anything that I can from the elastic so that just eliminate bulk. I would sew it to the second to the bottom braid so that also when you're finishing up your weave, it's flatter down there if you don't have this fat elastic on that last braid. So sew it on to the second to the last braid. We're doing a pixie style, remember, so we want to make sure everything's going to be as flat as possible. And there you have it, guys. This is we are now finished attaching the Weave Buddy. Many stylists choose to leave a little hair out at the very bottom when they're doing pixies. So I decided to simulate that for this sewing.